Hello everyone, and welcome to the sixth episode of AI learning web series of IntellicoTalks, powered by IntellicoWorks. IntellicoWorks is a DevOps consulting company that provides DevOps services along with the AI development services and managed cloud services. We are also the partner consultants for AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud Platform services. As we have covered multiple topics in the last episode that was related to how we can leverage AI in the software development. The topics that we have covered related to the SDLC process, the process of creative and design. And today we are going to delve down further that how we can leverage AI in the software testing process. How AI can help us in identifying errors, generate test cases, and increase the reliability of our software products in terms of security. But before moving towards this episode, I would like to ask you one question to all our audience. That can you remember, can you name one specific test case where AI can help a severe security vulnerability and help it uncovered that can have serious consequences? Don't worry, we are going to answer that in the last of our episodes. So stay tuned for the answer. So let's move forward towards this episode, and we have Shahzad Masud with us. And so Shahzad, welcome again. And today we are going to explore that how AI is helping out people in the software testing process. So tell us that what are the AI-driven testing, and how what's the impact of AI in the software testing process?
Let's go with first the testing process. Testing is all about two major things. One is the test cases. The second one is the quality assurance. Third one is the security testing. Fourth one is how to actually gather the data about. So AI actually helps you with all four of them. It helps you generate test cases data. It helps you generate frameworks. It helps you generate how to automate them. It helps you generate how to actually cherry pick different test cases and execute them. It helps you actually perform performance testing as well. So it is an emerging market where AI helps you with a lot more other things that how we can actually proceed further. So because it's all about analysis, it's all about figuring out how to perform effective quality assurance and testing. So AI is actually helping you out with most of the things.
And moving towards the further steps, the first thing that we will talk about the AI testing frameworks. So what is the role of testing automation in AI powered testing frameworks? Can you please elaborate that one?
Testing frameworks are more like how to identify, how to fix a scenario, how to figure it out, what actually is the problem. So there are 4 steps of that particular thing that you have to identify a framework. Framework means that test of data. What kind of a data you actually will selecting, what kind of a data you will be actually being testing on that. So based on that, you actually figure it out what kind of a data you actually will be doing that. So AI is actually helping you out with that, with those frameworks, that how to automate the test. Which test will be first, which test will be last. If you want to do maximum coverage, which test will be actually part of that, and what would be your test case criteria for the performance testing. So performance testing, test case criteria, data testing criteria, and which test case to actually select for the entire testing part is actually part of the framework.
So that we can call it, the framework side is the phases.
For the different phases are there, actually, where you first define the data, which normally all the quality assurance engineer actually draft the data themselves. They actually create boundary conditions over there, but with the help of AI, you actually can create that test data based on the requirement that you already have, that you wanted to test an email address, you wanted to test the first name, you want to test the last name, you wanted to test the length of a particular field, you wanted to test a complete end boundary of that particular text field area, you can test that. And if you are testing some sample set, sample tuple, that's a technical terminology for that. If you're testing for that, you can always do a performance test as well. If this is a larger data set, what would be the framework? If this is a smaller one, what would be the framework, and which test to execute first? So let's say, for example, if someone is actually doing a testing, we won't be testing the entire maximum length of his characters first, but you will go for the smaller one. This is another area. This is another framework where AI will help you out. The test with this one for the minimum viable product, and then go for the maximum one for the full coverage and for the performance things.
So basically, it can differ based on the data sets.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so that we have discovered about the frameworks, and now moving towards the automated test generation part. And so, can you tell us that what is machine learning based test generation and how it can help us in generating the test cases based on the code structure and patterns?
So whenever a quality assurance engineer actually is trying to draft test cases, first of all, he understands the logic. He have a long discussion with the developers.
Okay.
So he asked both of them actually asked each other that what is the logic that you have built, what kind of algorithm you use, what kind of a data structure you actually use. So it implicitly that quality assurance engineer is asking the details of the code. AI can actually help you with this part. That AI can actually take a look at that code and it will help you generate the automated test cases out of that. So automated test cases will actually be executing based on the exact scenario that okay, we are testing a particular logic, we are testing a particular business case scenario, and that business case scenario is actually handling these things. So automated test case will be generated based on the fact that if this business logic is actually handling this part, so let's test this one. The second decision tree, the third decision tree, the fourth decision tree, all the decision tree, there will be separate test cases that will be available over there.
So in that case, I can say that software test engineer that has to go first to the software developer, and the developer has to define the logic first.
Correct. But in this scenario, the AI machine learning actually will be actually learning that code instantly without actually having a discussion with anyone, and they are actually defining the test cases with the complete coverage.
So this is actually eliminating the part where you can have a discussion
There's
part.
A discussion part, long discussion part, verification cycle, another length of a cycle where it will be required that this test case is required, this is not required, this is not actually part of the coverage, it will not improve the coverage. So all the discussion part, which is like span on weeks of time, so this automated generating part by the AI will actually reduce that to minutes actually.
That is quite effective. That how test engineers can utilize AI, and it can increase the efficiency of the process as well.
Right, correct.
Yeah. So okay. So that was the test generation part, and coming towards the next part, that is very, I think, important for any test engineer. That is how to identify the vulnerabilities in the code or the product. So can you tell us that how AI driven testing that can help us in identifying the vulnerabilities in the source code?
Actually, before actually going for the source code, let's talk about the three phases of the testing part. So the first phase of testing is the business logic part. Business logic is very simply that can be covered. The second part of the business logic is all about how to test the database modeling, how the database model will be actually working with that. And the third part is all about the fuzzy testing. Is my login application working fine? What if I try to manipulate that one? What if I try to DDoS that one? What if I try to, hack that one? So if we provide all these scenarios to our AI model, that AI model can actually help us with that. So first, business logic. Second, database table, simple testing, and the third one is all about a fuzzy testing, negative testing, waterfall testing, and any testing methodology or any framework that we are using. And then comes the security part. The security part is all about testing your defects inside your code based on different analysis. So that analysis is called static analysis. That analysis is called dynamic analysis, security scanning, or anomaly detection. Static analysis are mostly based on the code basis, where you are actually analyzing the code. You are analyzing what can be done, how an AI tool is actually helping you out on that one. A dynamic analysis is more like detecting memory leaks, more like detecting what are the things over there. There are AI software available that can do dynamic analysis as well. Then we have tools available to scan the entire code base for the security testing. There are very good tools available for that can do this security testing as well, and then the anomaly detection.
So we have tools in place that for each part of the process.
Exactly,
right?
Yes. For each part of the process, we have specific tools available for the specific set of scenarios that how we can actually leverage them. Static, dynamic, security testing, anomaly detection, all these things are actually there. However, all these 3-4 things can be actually part of the software development lifecycle as well, where is a standard DevOps cycle where you are doing continuous integration and can include all these things using an automation framework.
And that is the part that is coming in the next episode.
Exactly.
So we will definitely delve down into that part as well. So, you have tell all these things very clearly, but the next thing is actually the remediation of the vulnerabilities.
Fixing of those things.
Fixing, definitely. So, how AI can help us in, resolving all the issues that is identified in the process or in the source code. Is there any process for that, or is there any tool for that?
AI has certain code recommendations available that if you are facing a problem inside a code, AI will actually recommend you a better code.
Okay.
But as that's based on the history, so all those better code analysis and better code things are actually available in there that you can actually utilize that. You can autocorrect the same tool, same code base, where you can actually, there is a possibility of a vulnerability over there that you can actually utilize that.
So basically, it can resolve this issue by providing you the right code.
Right code as well, right set of practices, data structure, what practice you can actually modify to actually get things done. So it can actually help you with the patch management as well. Sometimes some libraries that you're using, those libraries are not good enough for the security handling. It also recommends you based on that one. Let's go with the patching of these things. And AI can also help you with the monitoring as well. Like you can also monitor in a continuous fashion that if some defect which you fixed previously and that defect comes again, you can actually monitor that.
Okay, so now if the major steps that we have covered, so if we can combine all these things together. So the first step is about the frameworks that we talked about. Then we have the automated test generations, and the third one was to identify the vulnerabilities in the source code. And the last one is the fixing of those
vulnerabilities, fixing those issues, fixing the problems that we are facing inside the code base, and then actually making sure that they don't happen again.
And the last thing is that how would you conclude this conversation, the concept of AI in the software testing process, some lines about that?
Actually, I would be a little bit harsh on that because this role of quality assurance engineers will be shortened to more like an automation testing. The quality assurance guy will be required only for the very, very critical or very, very unorthodox scenario that won't happen in history. But if we talk about the other one, all the things that happen in history, all the things that happen in previously, which AI model actually learned about that, it can help you with the data generation, it can help you with the test case generation, it can help you with the execution, it can help you with the fixing of those things. So all the four scenario which the quality assurance engineer used to do that, it's actually being happening over here. And based on that, the fifth and the most important one is all the scenario which are going to be the newer one. There will be new attacks, there will be new scenarios, there will be new variation in the business logic, there will be new variation in the model testing, there will be new variation in the security, there will be new variation in the hacking attempt. The quality assurance engineers will be there, but they will be there for the very critical and important.
Okay, thank you so much, Shahzad. And that was it from the 6th episode of AI Learning Web Series, where we have discussed about how we can leverage AI in software testing process. But don't forget that we have asked you one question in the start of the episode, and that how AI-driven testing helped us uncover a critical issue or vulnerability. So we have one example, and Shahzad is going to answer that.
So with the help of AI, we have figured it out that in one of the very big e-commerce application, there was a bit of a code hidden inside the repository that code is vulnerable to many of the things. And the very famous term called SQL injection is actually over there. And it was hidden for many years actually. So it was not intentionally actually added over there, but AI actually helped you figure it out that this is SQL injection that can cause millions and billions of billions of dollars of data that can be leaked from that one. So AI helped you with the test case that there is a SQL injection possibility over there, and you have to fix that one. And once fixing that possibility, things are very, very good. So this is one of the very important and most important use case that no quality assurance engineer can really figure it out that if this code piece actually has an SQL injection or not.
Perfect. So I think this example would help you all in understanding the exact concept that how exactly AI is leveraging its technology in helping out the software testers to bring out efficiency and detecting the vulnerabilities in a better way. So thank you so much for staying with us in this episode, and we will come up in the next one where we will discuss about the CI/CD testing with the help of AI. Thank you so much and stay tuned for the next episode.